Troutmoon Press. What is and what may be. Observations of fact in the true nature of being by O. Jefferson Jones. Hello, Brian again with more from What is and what may be by Orland Jefferson Jones. Chapter 3. What therefore really is. Working from the facts, then, what is, what truly is? Our five senses do represent reality, of course, and we depend on them all the time to navigate our world of three dimensions. But did these five senses convey the information that my family was in danger? Impossible. They were too far away for anything but sight, maybe telescopic sight at that, to offer any hope. And to have seen them downtown would have required a line of sight which I did not have, as I cannot see through walls. So let us accept that neither the ordinary five senses nor the everyday three dimensions of our reality offer an intellectually honest explanation of these facts. Was it all just coincidence, then? In decades of life, a sudden paranoid vision strikes at exactly the moment, with exactly the content to match reality unfolding? Ha! Laughable. That is simply desperation exit from reality number 2. Let me list the desperate fool exits from reality for our time-saving convenience right now. 1. The witness lied. Yeah, anything you don't want to know is a lie. Good luck living like that. This exit is more like driving off a cliff than taking the clover leaf. 2. It was all just a coincidence. Possible, though extremely unlikely. You will sooner see an ice cube spontaneously explode into fusion fire from the effects of statistical quantum uncertainty than explain away the facts presented here as coincidence. Good luck with that, and watch out for them ice cubes. 3. There has to be some rational explanation. This is a trick exit that puts you right back on this expressway to enlightenment, because, ta-da! Applying reason to facts is exactly what we are doing here. When something actually happens that cannot happen, the honest way to approach it is to seek out what aspect of reality we had been unaware of. In this kind of endeavor, we like to assume as little as possible, explain things simply. Occam's razor, you know. So how did I know my family was in mortal danger? The fact is, there must have been something more, something that could connect and communicate between them and I without depending on the physical senses. How was this effected? A. Did my mind sense a looming possibility that was close in time but not yet arrived? This would mean seeing things before they occur, and that is a lot to swallow. Can it be simpler? B. Did my mind observe the danger not as a close future possibility, but as a present danger? This cuts out the need to see into the future, but still requires remote viewing or clairvoyance. This is still a lot to accept. Can we eliminate the non-physical psychic aspect? C. How about this then as a simple explanation based on physical reality? 1. The conscious and subconscious minds of my loved ones sense the deadly danger close upon them in the usual way. 2. Patterns of thought and memory, instinct and reflex that constitute their beings flared up brightly in recognition and focus on the danger. This, too, is the usual thing that happens. 3. In this case, and perhaps all cases, though mostly with an effect too small to notice, the flare-up in their patterns conveyed sufficient information with sufficient intensity to the patterns of being of another mind to trigger the mental imagery experienced by that other mind. The other mind being that of one that had, through close observation and open love for them over the extension of years, taken into its own patterns of thought and memory, sufficient of their patterns of being, to become so entangled with them as to experience, at least in part, the extreme flare up in their beings as they faced that moment of mortal danger. This last is the simplest because it requires neither precognition of the future nor unphysical psychic powers. Instead, item 3 above merely asserts two things. First, that mind is a constellation of evolving, self-sustaining patterns, like a complex standing wave, emanating from and anchored to the matter of the brain. Second, that information can be conveyed from points in the three-dimensional universe that appear to be far apart, but are in fact somehow entangled with each other, through a connection passing through another dimension, like plumbing through the basement of the universe. Neither one of these assertions is controversial. Mind is clearly a complex set of patterns anchored in our brains, and that information can be transferred non-locally through higher dimensions is already proven through observation and experiment. I choose the simplest answer then, and one with a good foundation in scientific observation. On reflection, however, I believe that even if you prefer one of the other more daring explanations, the choice does not materially affect the conclusions that must follow. From shocking personal experience, at odds with everyday reality, on a foundation of undeniable fact cemented by reason, the writer clarifies a compelling vision of the true nature of being. In this writer's magnetic field of clarity, you may recognize a landscape so old and true that you feel it in your ancestors' bones. What is and what may be. Search for the Android app book by Trout Moon Incorporated on the Android markets, and it's coming to an ebook retailer near you